Every trader wants the big money, but almost none are willing to follow the simple rules that lead there. Before we begin, let me ask you something right now. In this moment, what is the one trading rule you break the most? Comment your answer below, because this story, this exploration, this confession, in a way, is about the kind of profits Jesse Livermore called the big swing. Profits so large, they can change your entire financial horizon, yet so deceptively simple in the way they're captured. And I want to take you into that world, not as a historian, not as a storyteller, but as a trader, one who has been in the trenches, in the quiet hours of the night, analyzing charts that refuse to speak, feeling the emotional weight of every position, and battling the same psychological traps Livermore faced a century ago. Because markets evolve, but human nature doesn't. And Livermore understood human nature with brutal clarity. Tonight, I want you to imagine the market as he saw it, as a battlefield of discipline versus desire, patience versus impulse, and simple rules versus complicated emotions. Let me take you back to a moment that changed how I viewed trading forever. It was a day like any other, screens glowing, charts breathing familiar patterns, and yet I felt something unusual, a sense of calm clarity, as though the market was whispering, not with noise, but with intention. A stock I'd watched for months finally broke free of its quiet consolidation. No dramatic explosion, just a clean, decisive move through a level that had acted like a glass ceiling for weeks. The old impulsive me would have jumped in early, trying to anticipate the breakout and get ahead of the move. But that day, I remembered Livermore's words. You don't have to be ahead of the move. You only have to be rightened. Sit tight. So I waited. I followed the rule, the simple rule. And when the breakout came with genuine conviction, I stepped in. What happened next wasn't luck. It wasn't magic. It was structure. It was discipline. It was the invisible reward reserved for those who obey simple principles. In a world obsessed with complexity, that trade became one of the largest wins of my life. And the strange part, it wasn't the indicator that mattered. It wasn't the news. It wasn't the volume spike or the chart pattern. It was a rule. One rule. A simple rule that I had ignored so many times before. A rule that had always been there, whispering, waiting for me to grow up as a trader. And Livermore knew this secret better than anyone. He made and lost fortunes, not because he lacked intelligence, but because the market has a way of beating the brilliance out of men, until they're left with simplicity and the humility to follow it. When I look around at modern traders today, the constant noise, the endless indicators, the obsession with predicting every tick, I see the same problem Livermore saw in the bucket shops. The problem isn't information. The problem is control, or rather, the lack of it. Livermore believed that the market rewards clarity, and clarity comes from rules. Rules that are unbreakable, rules that sharpen your focus, rules that protect your capital from the one enemy that has destroyed more traders than bear markets, crashes, and bad brokers combined: your own emotions. Simple rules. Rules like only trade when the trend is confirmed. Never average down a losing trade. Always wait for the market to show its hand. Sit tight when you're right. Cut fast when you're wrong. These rules are not glamorous. They don't make for exciting social media posts. They don't promise instant gratification, but they create big profits, because big profits come from big behavior, not big intelligence. And right now, I want you to feel something, the weight of the next step in your trading journey. Because this video, this script, isn't just going to talk about Livermore's rules. It's going to walk you through the psychology behind them, why they work, why they're hard, why they're ignored, and how modern traders can use them to break free from the cycle of inconsistency and self-sabotage. Think of this as the quiet before the storm, the moment before the real lessons begin. Because in the next section, I'm going to reveal the cinematic conclusion, the emotional anchor, the final takeaway that ties this entire narrative together and leaves you with one unforgettable message that will echo in your mind every time you open a chart. So take a breath, clear your mind, and prepare yourself. Big profits don't require complicated strategies. They require simple rules, obeyed with absolute discipline. Now, I ask you, would you follow a simple rule if it could change your financial life? Comment your thoughts below. In every trader's life, There comes a moment when the market stops being a puzzle and becomes a mirror. And as I bring this story home, as I close this chapter about Jesse Livermore, simple rules, and the pursuit of big profits, I want to leave you with the same feeling I had the first time I truly understood what trading was asking of me. Not information, not predictions, not speed, not genius, but honesty. Because trading is a brutally honest profession. Brutal about your flaws, brutal about your impulses, brutal about your inconsistencies, brutal about the areas of your personality you prefer to hide. And yet, it's also the only profession that rewards you for mastering yourself. Before you master anything else, as I stand here narrating this final section, I can tell you with absolute clarity, the markets didn't make Jesse Livermore a legend. His rules did, his discipline did, his ability to step away from his own emotions did, and that is the core of this conclusion. Let me paint the final scene for you. The final scene: a trader alone with the truth. Imagine Livermore standing before the ticker tape, just as you stand before your glowing monitor today. The world outside is chaotic. Rumors, opinions, predictions, hope, fear, the same noise that floods every trader's mind, whether they lived in 1907 or 2025. But Livermore knew something that the crowd never fully understood. Big profits come from big clarity. Big clarity comes from simple rules. And simple rules only work for traders who have the courage to obey them. He didn't chase every movement. He didn't get seduced by every narrative. He didn't trade because he was bored, anxious, or trying to make it back. He traded because the market told him now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, now. And when he heard that message, he acted with full conviction, not half a position, not doubt, not hesitation. And when the message was unclear, he did nothing, sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months. That, my friend, is the uncomfortable truth. Big profits, the kind traders dream of, often come from long periods of doing absolutely nothing and short bursts of decisive, rule-based action. But modern traders struggle with this. We're overexposed to the illusion that constant action equals constant progress. Yet Livermore proved the opposite. The final lesson, let me give it to you straight. The final message you need to walk away with: the biggest profits in your trading life will not come from your brilliance. They will come from your restraint. They will come from the one time you didn't revenge trade, the one time you didn't violate your stop, the one time you waited for confirmation, the one time you obeyed the trend, the one time you had the strength to sit on your hands when your ego begged for action. Trading isn't about being right, it's about being consistent. And consistency is built from rules. Rules simple enough to write on a napkin and powerful enough to move millions. If you truly want big profits, you must accept the reality Livermore embraced. You don't need more strategies. You need fewer mistakes. And fewer mistakes come from simple rules, followed with ruthless discipline. Because at the end of the day, it's not the complexity of your system that matters. It's the simplicity of your discipline. As the lights dim, as the charts fade into the darkness around you, as the noise of the market falls quiet for a moment, I want you to picture yourself months from now, not guessing, not gambling, not hoping, but trading with a clarity you've never felt before, because you finally understand that your edge isn't a secret indicator or a hidden pattern. Your edge is your ability to do what most traders simply can't. Follow a simple rule, even when your emotions are screaming at you to break it. That's what made Livermore different, and that's what can make you different. So I'll leave you with one final question, the comment hook that may reveal more about you than you've ever admitted out loud. What is the one simple rule you commit to following starting today? Drop your answer in the comments. This is your moment, your turning point, your shift from noise to clarity, from impulse to discipline, from small scattered wins to big, deliberate profits. And remember, the market doesn't reward the smartest trader. It rewards the most disciplined one. This is the voice of a trader who has lived through the storms, learned from the mistakes, and understands the truth. Livermore tried to teach the world simple rules are the path to extraordinary success. Thank you for being here. Well, trade disciplined and trade with purpose.